Something extraordinary is happening within the depths of your person's soul right now. There is a movement, a stirring, a profound and unmistakable shift taking place in the deepest chambers of their heart. This is not a fleeting thought or a passing emotion. This is a transformation that reaches into the very core of who they are. The walls that once stood between you, those invisible barriers built from fear and misunderstanding, are finally beginning to crumble. The separation that has kept you apart is dissolving, piece by piece, layer by layer, as truth emerges from beneath years of illusion. Time and distance have become their greatest teachers. In the vast expanse of space that grew between you, they have been forced into a confrontation they could no longer avoid. It is a confrontation not with you, but with themselves. They have had to face the mirror of their own soul and see reflected there all the karmic attachments they carried, all the external influences that clouded their judgment, all the patterns and behaviors that contributed to the chasm that formed between your hearts. These are the kinds of revelations that change a person forever. These are the truths that cannot be unseen once they come into view. And I must tell you, this awakening has not been gentle. It has not come wrapped in soft comfort or easy acceptance. No, these realizations have been excruciating. Each new truth has arrived like a sharp blade, cutting away another layer of the false self they had constructed. Every revelation has stripped away another piece of the armor they wore to protect themselves from vulnerability. What remains now, exposed and raw, is the undeniable recognition that they had something precious with you. They had something real, something beautiful, something that most people search their entire lives to find. And they let it slip through their fingers like water, like sand, like smoke disappearing into the wind. There is a heaviness that lives within them now. It is the weight of regret, deep and persistent, settling into their bones. This is not the superficial remorse of a mistake easily forgotten. This is the kind of regret that wakes them in the middle of the night, that haunts their quiet moments, that colors every reflection they catch of themselves in passing windows and mirrors. They carry with them the painful awareness that they failed you in some fundamental way. Whether it was through neglect that left you feeling invisible, through fear that kept them from fully showing up, through pride that prevented them from admitting their true feelings, or through distraction that pulled their attention to things that ultimately meant nothing, they now see with crystal clarity how their actions, or their lack of action, played a central role in the emotional distance that grew between you like an ever-widening canyon. But here is what you must understand about this person, about your emperor. Despite all their flaws, despite all their past mistakes and missteps, they carry within them an essence that is powerful and true. They possess a core of strength that cannot be easily shaken. They have resilience woven into the fabric of their being. And perhaps most importantly, they have a capacity for deep emotional responsibility that is finally awakening within them. This is not someone who will run forever from what they feel. This is not someone who will hide indefinitely from the truth of their heart. After everything that has transpired, after all the silence and separation, they are finding something they thought they had lost. They are discovering within themselves the inner courage required to return to you. And this return is not merely physical, not just a matter of crossing whatever distance separates your bodies. No, this is so much more profound than that. They are making their way back to you emotionally, peeling back the protective layers they built around their heart. They are returning to you spiritually, recognizing the sacred nature of the bond you share. They are coming back with intention burning like a flame within them, with clarity they have never possessed before, and with a sincere, bone-deep desire to rebuild what was lost, to restore what was broken, to heal what was wounded. The longing they feel for you is not superficial. It is not the shallow attraction of physical desire alone, though that exists within it. What they feel goes so much deeper. It is intimate in ways that transcend the physical realm. It is an aching that lives in their chest, a constant companion in their solitude. They yearn not only for your touch, though they dream of it, but for the connection that once made them feel complete, whole, integrated. They miss your voice, the particular cadence and melody of it, the way it could soothe them or excite them or make them laugh. They miss your energy, that unique vibration that is yours alone, the way it filled spaces and changed atmospheres. They miss the way your presence brought them peace in a world that so often felt chaotic and overwhelming, like finding shelter in the middle of a storm. In the darkness of night, when the world grows quiet and defenses fall away, they send out silent prayers. They plead with the universe, with whatever divine forces govern love and destiny and fate. Every night, in the sacred hours when truth cannot be denied, they ask for the same thing. They beg for one more chance, one more opportunity to prove themselves, to show you that their love is real and enduring and worthy of your trust. They are asking for the grace of your return, for the blessing of being allowed back into your life, into your heart, into your world. What your person wants more than anything is for you to let them in again. But they understand now, with a wisdom earned through suffering, that they are not just looking for forgiveness. Forgiveness is only the beginning. They are hoping, praying, longing for something more expansive. They want a new beginning, a fresh start, a chance to rewrite the story between you with all the lessons they have learned. The weight of their past behavior, the memory of how they took you for granted, how they failed to cherish what they had when they had it, is something they carry with them every single day. It has become a part of them, a constant reminder of what they almost lost forever. Now they find themselves alone with their thoughts, watching you from whatever distance separates you. Whether they see you through the window of social media, catching glimpses of your life in photos and updates, whether they hear about you through mutual connections who mention your name and unknowingly twist the knife in their heart, or whether they simply feel your energy in that inexplicable way that connected souls can sense each other across any distance, they witness your life unfolding without them. They see you glowing with a light that seems brighter than before. They watch you growing, evolving, becoming more fully yourself. They observe you living your life with a freedom and authenticity that takes their breath away. And while there is a part of them that feels genuine pride in your strength, that celebrates your ability to rise and thrive without them, there is another part that breaks with each observation. Every time they see evidence of your happiness, every time they witness your continued evolution, it reinforces a devastating truth. They didn't truly see your worth when it mattered most. They failed to recognize the treasure they held until it was nearly too late. They were blind to your value until you were already slipping away. What they are coming to understand now, with a clarity that is both liberating and terrifying, is that the path back to you is not paved with empty words or grand romantic gestures. Those things are too easy, too performative, too surface level for what is required here. The only true path back to you runs through karma itself. They must face the consequences of their past choices head-on. They must walk through the fire of accountability and emerge transformed on the other side. And remarkably, they are not running from this anymore. They have stopped fleeing from the reckoning that awaits them. This journey is not easy. Let me be clear about that. In fact, there are moments when it feels like it is killing them slowly, one painful realization at a time. The thought that you might have moved on, that someone else might now be holding your heart, that another person might be receiving the love and devotion they once took for granted, these possibilities haunt them. They torture themselves with images of you happy in someone else's arms, building a life with someone who was smart enough to cherish you from the beginning. But even through this excruciating pain, even as jealousy and regret tear at them, there burns within them a quiet hope that refuses to be extinguished. This hope whispers to them in moments of despair. It tells them that you can still feel their energy, that some part of you senses their spirit drawing closer once again. It insists that the connection between you is not something that can be completely severed, that the bond you share transcends time and space and circumstance. And this hope, fragile as it sometimes feels, is what keeps them moving forward. They are determined now in a way they have never been before. There is a fire within them that wasn't there in the past, a burning resolve that colors everything they do. This is not the weak determination of someone making empty promises to change. This is the fierce commitment of someone who has finally understood what they stand to lose forever if they don't act. They are determined to win your love back, but not through manipulation or superficial charm or any of the games people play. They want to earn your love by becoming the version of themselves that you always believed they could be, the version you saw potential for even when they couldn't see it themselves. Every single day, they are asking the universe for help. They are seeking divine guidance, opening themselves to spiritual wisdom they once ignored. They want to know how to heal this connection, how to mend what was broken, how to bridge the distance between your hearts. They are praying for signs, for direction, for the courage to do what needs to be done. But perhaps most importantly, they are working on themselves. This is not just performative self-improvement designed to win you back, though they certainly hope it will help. This is deeper than that. They are doing the real work, the hard work, the work that requires them to face their shadows and demons and wounds. They are healing themselves not only so they can return to you, but so they can be truly worthy of the love they once took for granted. They are becoming someone who can receive and reciprocate the depth of devotion you offered them. This is not merely about reconciliation in the conventional sense. This is about redemption. This is about transformation. This is about becoming new while honoring what was sacred in the past. They understand now, with sobering clarity, that the journey back to you will not be simple or straightforward. They are fully aware that trust, once broken, must be painstakingly rebuilt, piece by careful piece. They know that wounds must be acknowledged, tended to, given the time and attention they need to heal properly. But here's what has changed: they are ready for that work. They are no longer afraid of it. In fact, they no longer fear the vulnerability that will be required to open up completely. Where once they ran from emotional exposure, they now crave it. They hunger for the kind of raw, honest connection that only you brought into their life. They want to strip away all pretense, all armor, all protection, and stand before you as they truly are. They want to be seen, fully and completely, perhaps for the first time in their lives. You are not just a memory to them, not just a chapter in their past that they can close and move on from. You are the person who awakened their soul. You reached into depths of them they didn't know existed and brought something to life that had been dormant, waiting, sleeping. And though it took time, though it required silence and separation and pain for them to see this truth, they see it now with unwavering clarity. The scales have fallen from their eyes. The fog has lifted. They understand. They are preparing themselves for the moment when they can come forward with open hands and a heart full of truth. They are readying themselves to stand before you, vulnerable and honest, with nothing to hide behind. They are gathering the courage to speak the words that matter, to make the declarations they should have made long ago, to offer you the love you always deserved but were too afraid to give completely. Their ultimate hope, the dream that sustains them through the darkest moments, is that you will see their growth. They hope that you will recognize the transformation that has taken place within them. They pray that you will feel their sincerity, that it will radiate from them so powerfully that you cannot doubt it. And they hope beyond hope that you will find it in your heart to fall in love with them all over again. Because this time, if you give them this precious second chance, they will not take it for granted. This time, they will choose you every single day with deliberate intention. And this time, they will make absolutely certain that you never have to question their love, their commitment, or their devotion ever again. Hashtag the confession of a guarded heart. There is something they need you to know, a confession that weighs on them constantly. They have always known about this connection between you, even though they pretended not to. From the very beginning, from the first moment your energies touched, something about you felt familiar. It was like encountering someone they had known in 1,000 lifetimes, like coming home to a place they had never been. There was a quiet pull, magnetic and undeniable, that kept drawing them toward you even when they tried desperately to act indifferent, even when they put on the mask of casual disinterest. Deep down, in the hidden chambers of their heart where truth lives regardless of what the mouth speaks, they were fully aware of what was happening between you. They could see everything, even as they pretended to be blind. They saw the way your eyes searched theirs, looking for reciprocation, hoping to find a flicker of the same overwhelming emotions that flooded your heart. They noticed every small gesture you made, every subtle way you tried to show them how meaningful and rare this connection was. You offered them countless opportunities to meet you in that sacred space of mutual recognition and vulnerability. And yet, instead of embracing what was being offered, instead of stepping forward into that beautiful unknown with you, they chose concealment. They chose to hide their feelings like precious jewels buried in the earth where no one could see them shine. They acted like none of it mattered, like they didn't feel the same intensity that coursed through you. They performed indifference with an Oscar-worthy commitment, even as their hearts screamed the opposite truth. And for this betrayal of authenticity, for this denial of what was real, they are not proud. They carry the shame of it with them still. They know that their coldness confused you. How could it not? You were showing up with an open heart, offering yourself with courage and sincerity, and you were met with walls and distance and ambiguity. They know it hurt you, this rejection of what you offered so freely. You gave so much of yourself without reservation. You offered your time, which is the most precious resource any of us possesses. You gave your attention, focusing on them with an intensity that made them feel seen in ways they had never experienced. You offered your vulnerability, which is perhaps the greatest gift one human can give another, stripping away your defenses and allowing yourself to be truly seen. They could feel your heart trying to reach theirs. Even when they tried to build walls around it, constructing barriers of stone and ice and deliberate misunderstanding, they could sense you on the other side, searching for a way through. You were looking for reassurance, for something in their gaze that said, "I'm here with you. I feel it too." You're not alone in this overwhelming experience. But they disappointed you, and they know it. They failed to meet the moment, failed to rise to the occasion, failed to match your courage with their own. Instead of meeting your vulnerability with their own openness, they responded with distance. They pulled back when you moved closer. They grew colder when you offered warmth. They told themselves convincing lies to justify this behavior. They said they were protecting both of you from getting hurt. They claimed they weren't ready, that the timing was wrong, that circumstances were complicated. But the truth, the naked truth they can no longer hide from, is that they were scared. They were terrified of the depth of what they were feeling. They were afraid of how much power you had over them, how you could make them feel so much with just a glance or a word. They were afraid of being truly seen and fully known, of having someone look into the depths of them and see both the light and the shadow. Every time they pulled away, they know you felt a sense of abandonment. And what makes this so much worse, what adds an extra layer of cruelty to it, is that you didn't deserve any of that. You didn't deserve the confusion of mixed signals, the pain of emotional whiplash, the loneliness of silence where there should have been connection. You were always kind, consistently giving, unfailingly sincere. You showed up as your authentic self, again and again, even when it wasn't reciprocated. They have replayed those moments countless times in their head, torturing themselves with the memories. All the times they could have reached out but didn't. All the moments they could have said something real, something true, something that mattered, but chose silence instead. All the occasions when they could have just looked at you and admitted what they were feeling, let the truth spill out between you like water breaking through a dam. But instead, they buried everything. They pushed it down, locked it away, pretended it didn't exist. And you paid the price for that silence. It's crucially important for you to know and understand this. They weren't distant because they didn't care. This is perhaps the greatest irony, the most tragic misunderstanding. It was quite the opposite. They cared too much. The feelings they had for you were so intense, so all-consuming, that they didn't know how to hold them. They loved you, though they didn't know how to show it in ways you could recognize and receive. They had never been taught the language of healthy emotional expression. Growing up, they never really learned what it meant to be emotionally present with someone. Love, in their experience, was often conditional, withheld, or expressed in ways that left them feeling confused or unsafe. They never had models for what it looks like to open your heart fully and stand in that openness without armor. So when they met you and felt something so powerful, so raw, so devastatingly honest, every alarm in their system went off. They panicked. They didn't know what to do with a love that felt so real, so present, so demanding of their authenticity.